Okay, we had a storm that came across and blew in our fence. This is the last section putting up, and I thought I might take a video of the process of putting back together a fence. I put two sections back together. That one that's dirty over there required me to, I saved the pieces on the ground, so they're dirty, so I just have to wash that. And then this section here also blew in, and this section here on the last recent windstorm. So I'm going to show you how to put it back together. It's actually quite simple, really simple actually. And I'll show you first starters. We have this gravel here next to our fence, and you see here, this is the track that the vertical pieces go into, and as you can see, it's filled of rocks. So I am just clearing those rocks out to make it nice and clean, so that the vertical slats can go down inside. So this is the process that I'm using to clean this thing out. As you can see, it's getting cleaner. There's still some dirt in there, but that's okay. It's these rocks that I'm more worried about. And I'm just using a trusty old stick. Screwdriver works as well, but stick works good too. And I'm just going in here, scooping it out like this, and flinging it out. So, really simple. If your tracks ever get full, that's what you can do. Just stick something skinny down inside, and do that. Okay, this track is now clean enough to start putting the vertical slats in. See, there's some dirt in there, but that's okay. Shouldn't make a difference. And yeah, so next step is putting vertical slats in, and I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so I have the first two slats in. This is what it looks like. You're just kind of barely putting them in. So obviously you can see they're just dangling there. But I'll show you the process. So it's as simple as putting it down inside the track. Wedging it in, scooting it over. Then you put the next one in. Okay, here is the fence. All the pieces are in except for this last little piece. A lot of your fences will have a piece that was cut, just a small shim to put in between to make everything nice and flush. You can see on right here, this small piece is one that, that's what I'm going to be putting back in over here. So I just got to wedge that in, and then I'll show you the next step. Okay, I just got that last shim on right here, this skinny piece. And what I ended up doing is I actually took the whole thing out, put that piece on, and then shoved the vertical slat back inside. So as you can see, it's all there. And now we're gonna slowly, or I shouldn't say slowly, now we're gonna put the top rail back on. And it's all gonna come together with this top rail. Okay, this is what we're doing here. Here's the top slat that's going in. I'm just holding that up on top of here to keep my balance while I'm doing it by myself. And slowly we just kind of thread it along. For instance, right here you'll bring this next piece forward and slide the top rail on top. And you just do it one slat at a time. You slide it all the way over. As you can see here, I've gotten just a few more slats in. I have my kids here helping me wash them off now that they're dirty. But we're just slowly working our way over here, and we're gonna work over to that hole right there in the post. Okay, now you see I've got the whole fence, has the top rail on. So you can see they're not inserted in. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna put this end in first, and what it is this one comes about right here, about mid-range. So you scoot this all the way over to about midway, which then allows you to have space on this one. It'll be about here, and then you'll scoot it back in. So they're about roughly, they're in just a couple inches on each side. That holds it on either side, and that just holds the top frame in, and the top frame, or the top rail, then holds the vertical slats. Okay, and that's the top rail. I put it in on the right side first, then scooted it back on the left, and now it's in there, and my kids are now washing the fence, earning some money. So it's an easy job. This little section probably took me maybe 15-20 minutes, and that includes filming as well. So it's a really simple job, much easier than you'd think. So one more thing that my fence has that others might not have is mine has this mid-rail. We live in a pretty windy area, and as you can see, this mid-rail is there with a couple screws that attach to the centerpieces, and it also goes through. But it's the same idea. You stick one end in there and then scoot it back and scoot it onto the other hole over there. And I actually have a half rail on this side, or a mid rail on this side, and then on the other side of my fence I also have another mid rail. So that's how my fence works. You might have that same at your place, but that's how it goes. So as you can see, I have a lot of fence, and my kids are doing a great job, but that's the final job. So I had 3 sections that blew out in our last windstorm, and it was easily fixed. I got really nervous. I thought I was gonna have to hire somebody to come do it or spend a lot of money, but I had one upper rail piece that broke, that top rail, in the windstorm. One of them cracked, and that cost I think like $24, and then the mid rail was like $8. So I spent like 33 bucks with tax included to get it all repaired. So it's really simple, easy to do. Just need to find a couple, like if you have a few minutes, it's easy to do.